Hey T fans, it's Monk, and I'm coming to you live from Monson. I was going to say Monson, Maryland. It was I think I need to finish this trail. Monson, Maine, and I'm on the shores here of Lake Hebron, and then behind me is the Lakeside House, which is a lovely little bed and breakfast here. No, it's not a bed and breakfast. It's a don't do breakfast. It's a hostel. It's not hostile, like, you know, where they're mean to you. It's a hostel with an EL at the end, where they're very nice to you, actually. A woman named Rebecca runs it, knows that she's just wonderful. How do we know it's called the Lakeshore House? Because the sign kind of says that. All right. So we're at mile 2076. So we've got, just about 120 miles to go in this journey. And nothing much dramatic has happened recently, with the exception of the night before I got here. I was hiking. It was around six at night, and it was just a flat, just a flat area, like one of the smoothest hiking areas that I'd had in a long time. And my trekking pole stuck, and I lost my balance, and I fell onto my other trekking pole, which had been planted in the ground. And I snapped that sucker, boom, clean in half. So immediately I'm thinking, oh boy, it's gonna be hard going uphill with those trekking poles. And then I realized in Maine, they're not really big on bridges. You have to ford the streams of the rivers here. And then I thought, and the problem with that is, or the challenge of that is, that the rocks are really slippery. So then I thought, wow, I'm gonna need my trekking poles to ford a stream that I had to ford in the morning. And then a few minutes later, I thought, as it's getting towards camp time, I thought, oh no, my trekking poles I use to support my tent. I don't have tent poles. I use my trekking poles for that. And this thing was broke clean, and it was gonna rain. So I got to camp, and I tried to tape up my trekking poles, and it didn't work. It was a clean break. There was just nothing I could do. And I knew it was gonna pour at night. So you don't want a cowboy camp. Cowboy camp is where you sleep out under the stars, but there would be no stars. It would just be a downpour. But then I had a moment of genius, a moment of inspiration. Monk's keen mind, Monk's savvy. Dare we say, Monk's genius. Monk put a splint on the trekking pole. Yeah, worked like a charm. So my brother-in-law, Paul Osterman, they like to call him MacGyver. No more, Paul. You're looking at MacGyver. That's what I'm talking about. So this hard to believe, but this is really the first time, or actually the last 3-4 days or so, where I've really allowed myself to see the end of the journey. You just can't go there, particularly like when you're in Georgia or North Carolina or Tennessee or Virginia or Maryland or West Virginia or Pennsylvania. It's just too far away. But now I can see it. And I realized as I go into the 100-mile wilderness, which I'll start that tomorrow morning, there's not going to be much connection. We're going to be getting to the end of Mug TV. Yeah, it's very sad, I know. So I thought what I wanted to do, what I've wanted to do for a long time, is people have always asked me lots of questions about, what does Monk eat? What do you do when this happens? What's the hardest thing? What do you love the most? What do you wish you hadn't? What do you wish you had done? How do you camp at night? Whatever it is, there could be a lot of. I've always had a lot of these questions, and I want to be able to answer them. So what I thought was, before we run out of time here, is if you would just type in on this post your questions, like down below here, and I will, if they're kind of global questions, I'll spend some time when I get a chance on Monk TV and I'll answer them. Or if they're just kind of like very specific questions to you, happy to answer you, personally on those. So if you're interested just generically, or if you're interested in through hiking or hiking, happy to answer anything. You can put it all out there, and I thought it'd be fun to be able to do that. So connectivity is going to be pretty bad through the 100-mile wilderness. It's not nearly as scary as it sounds, but there just aren't any resources for the 100 miles. You just have to be smart about your food and your planning. And then I'll get to Millinocket, and I'm going to wait there for my trail manager, or my trail boss, as she prefers to be called. And we're gonna summit Mount Cotton together on either Saturday, August 25th, or Sunday, August 26th. So we are getting very, very close. I think that's it for now. Mark out.